All right. Okay. Before we get started, before I introduce myself and welcome you all in, and we kick off the week of social media, which is one of my favorite topics. Um, if you're just joining, go ahead and throw your cameras on. See some smiling faces. We are going to do some social media posts tonight, meaning pictures. So I'm going to take some screenshots on a little bit of the screen, and actually share it and post on social. So if you want your post on social, put your screens on. Um, But I'd love to start out by just finding out from everybody just some wins, right? You've been going through, this is week 5. Um, what have been, I'd love to hear some success stories. Come on off of mute and let me hear you. Oh,
Yeah,
I know.
Class.
Go ahead, James.
Oh, I'm sorry. For the class, social media posts, started posting on a new medium, so that was good. I went ahead and start doing that more. You so I wasn't doing that before my Google page, my Google business page. I wasn't doing it before.
And now you started.
Yeah, so we had to look back. I was like, man, it's kind of it's old, it's outdated. So trying to
Love
keep.
that. Awesome. And that's, little movements, right? Little tweaks, right? Going back and looking at things. How can we improve them? It's not to make things perfect overnight. There's no such thing as perfect. Um, Let's just, all right, what can we improve this week? Thank you so much.
hi, Elena. What question? I have to go somewhere. I have a meeting for half an hour or so. Can I join later on? And will this be
Absolutely.
recorded? Will this be
It is
recorded?
recorded, but if you're able to jump back on, we're going to be doing some great activities later. So please
Yeah,
try to get
because
back
I
on so we
don't
can
want
do
to
that.
miss it. So, but
Yeah.
I have to. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks
Thanks.
for letting me know. All right, let's hear one more win, one more success story. I know somebody here has had a success story.
I
By the
did
way,
a
if you're in a
smart
classroom with a bunch of people, you can also come off mute and come on.
I did a smart plan and was able to connect with people that way and tried one for Mother's Day. So at least it was bringing people to the website and checking things out a little bit. So I was excited about that.
Oh my God, I love that. So you used a smart plan. You leveraged, that's what we call, right? You leveraged technology to reach out and say Happy Mother's Day. By the way, I leverage technology to send a happy birthday text to everybody in my sphere of influence and also just random people that I have in my database from I don't even know when. And I have the birthday smart plan going out, meaning people get these texts from me and they say thank you. And it's so great because the system does it. I just say you're welcome. All right. So thank you for those wins. Love them. If anybody else on here has some, please share them in the chat box. That's why we do this is for that purpose. I'm going to introduce myself and then we're going to go ahead and kick things off and I'll share my screen. Welcome, everybody. Breakthrough 120 Prime Time. My name is Alana Hubert Katz. I am the Director of Education and Coaching for Keller Williams location, Keller Williams Capital Properties in Maryland, DC, and Virginia. We're in 8 locations. I oversee that. I do see a few familiar names on here, so welcome. And also a national KW trainer and also the founder of Breakthrough 120 Prime Time with my co-founder, Matt Verdon, who I think you all had last week as a teacher, right? Yep, love Matt. Um, so I actually started this up in the evenings back in 2019 when it was originally called Ignite. Now it was rewritten. Now it's called Breakthrough 120. So all those emails you're getting and messages and reminders and emails, that's me. That's from me. Either you're welcome or you're welcome. I don't know which one it is, so I'm just going to say you're welcome. One person said, I'm getting too many emails. I said, you're welcome. All right. Better too many than too little. So, as we go through tonight, any questions you have, if you want to go deeper on something, oh, by the way, please use the reactions. Again, for those just joining, I've literally been teaching since 8:30 a.m. this morning, on and off, and I have to teach West Coast as well. Not have to, I want to. I'm doing it, meaning I'm teaching till 11 o'clock tonight, my time. So your reactions, your faces, your interactions are going to help each other and help me. So thank you. Um, Oh my God, I love this. I got to 100 people at my business Facebook this week. That's fantastic. Oh, you know what? Hold on here. I've been saying reactions and I haven't even done them. I'm going to do that one. There we go. Yeah, rocket ships for that one. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen again as we go through this. Anything you want to go deeper in or you have questions on, this is your time. I want you to get the most out of tonight and tomorrow night, right? Tonight and tomorrow night is social media night. Whether you like it or not, social media night. So don't miss out on tomorrow night because it folds right into that. And let me share my screen. 1 second here. There we go. Okay, does everybody see it? Perfect. So again, if you have questions, you can raise your digital hand. I'll be checking the chat box. You can put it in there. If you have things to add, so as we're going through the different things about social media, if you've had some best practices with social media, or maybe you recently did something on social media and it was, you know, um, took you out of your comfort zone by doing it and you did it, share those things because that's what inspires others to do it. Okay. So I will share with everybody, right? So again, Breakthrough 120 is all about 10 real estate conversations per day, right? Does anybody know the numbers behind that? Does anybody want to know? Does anybody actually know why it's 10 a day? There's a reason behind that. Does anybody know the national stats behind that?
Well, I know it is to let's see, the conversations per day basically ends up producing, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember if it's one or three uh, leads.
Ooh, Gary. So, okay, you have the 1 and 3 numbers correct. I'm going to clarify what those 1 and 3 are, but you got the numbers correct. Thank you. Um, 10 conversations a day over 5 days, 50 conversations in a week, or you just go to a big networking event on Saturday and talk to 50 in one day, which sounds exhausting, but you can do it. 50 conversations in a week on average produces one now appointment. So you'll find one person out of 50 who's ready now. Now meaning the next 3 months. So that's an appointment, right? So 1 out of 50 is your now appointment. And to Gary's point, three or 3 to 5, I like to say, 3 to 5 out of those 50 are have a real estate need or know somebody with a real estate need within 4 to 12 months. Okay, so that's the reasoning behind the 10. Because a lot of times people say, well, I'm not getting appointments, I'm not getting appointments. And I've been an agent since 2015. Dual career. Anybody on here have another job and also in real estate? Okay, wow, those hands just went up. Okay, so that's how I started as well. It was not easy. I probably updated my resume and thought about getting out of real estate a lot in my first year. It was hard, right? And obviously I didn't. I was able to quit my other job, go real estate full time. So that was 2015. And then 2017 became a coach locally in Maryland. That's where I live. And then nationally in 2018. I've been coaching ever since. Probably worked with, oh my goodness, somewhere over 1,000 agents by now. And just got back from teaching from Keller Williams, Thailand a few weeks ago. So I say all that to say that number 10 has been proven not just nationwide, but with the 1,000+ agents I've worked with. And then, of course, 5 days a week for the next 120 days, and that equals your 9 agreements. Okay, sounds simple, but not easy. So first of all, congratulations. You have made it to week 5 of Breakthrough 120. That doesn't mean you quit. That doesn't mean it's over. That doesn't mean, okay, I'm like the best agent ever. No. You've improved, you've gained confidence, you have a nice solid foundation. Now we take it up a notch. So this week is going to be about social media. And then after this week, what I recommend doing, and I'm going to show this tomorrow night. So this is going to be part of tomorrow night's class, is there's actually a Breakthrough 120 self-paced course where you can go back to certain topics. You don't have to go through the entire thing all, I mean, if you want to, you can, but you can go back through certain topics. So if you want to get more out of database or get more out of appointment setting. You can go back and watch these little mini snippet videos. They're like 9 minutes, 6 minutes in the self-paced course to push yourself to, again, those 9 just continual agreements, right? Am I getting an appointment this week? Is the appointment getting me an agreement? Because without an appointment, we can't have an agreement. Without an agreement, we can't have a closing. And by the way, without conversations, we can't have any of that at all. What's really funny, it's funny, I was talking to a coworker of mine in one of my offices before I'm at home now. So you might, by the way, you may hear cat fights at some point in time. Let me just set the expectation. I have 2 cats, and in about an hour from now, they will come in the kitchen and fight. It's almost every night at 7 o'clock until I throw them treats. So you'll probably hear that at some point in time. Just gonna let you know it's fine here. It's just cats fighting. But I was talking to a coworker before, I'm going to stop the share for a quick second. So I was talking to a coworker before coming here, coming home and teaching, and he said, "What are you teaching?" And I said, "Social media." And he started laughing. And the reason he started laughing was I am the first person. So I'm going to share something personal. That's okay with everyone. I'm the first person to say that I would literally throw a party. You're all invited. I will throw a party if social media blew up and ever existed. Like if all of a sudden something took out whatever is activating social media out there and it no longer existed at all on any platforms, I will throw the largest party in the world. I don't like it. I'm just going to come on the record and say it. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. Okay. I don't know if anybody else is like that, but that's me. Okay. Oh, thank you. I'm not alone. I love that. Oh my God. So, and at the same time, right, we're in a business. At the same time, the world lives on social media, literally the world. So to work smarter, not harder, we need to meet people where they are. We need to use our resources. It doesn't mean that you have to love it. It doesn't mean that you have to do everything that you're going to learn over the next 2 nights. What I will challenge you to do though is think over the next 2 nights, the 2 classes, what's one thing I can either improve on in what I'm already doing, or what is one thing, by the way, I'm going to ask all of you this tomorrow night at the end of the class. So note, that's the question I'm going to ask tomorrow night. So what's one thing you want to improve on over the next, I always give everything 90 days, over the next 90 days with social media, and what's one thing you want to put into play, right? So I taught this class actually in person here in Maryland 2 weeks ago. It was actually for a bunch of agents Matt Verdon works with. And there was a gentleman in that class who's been in real estate 15 years. Very good agent. And he doesn't really use social media. He's very new to it. He just got an Instagram account. He's had Facebook, but doesn't really use it, but he just got Instagram. So for him, his one thing was, I just want to post one thing every week. Like, let me just do that. I can't think about every day. I can't think about 3 times a week, just one every day. Or sorry, one a week. Okay. So anyways, as we go through this, I want you to give thought to that question. Okay. So we're going to talk about implementing the engagement plan, applying the like model. We're going to define that, and then just understanding how to use paid ads. Now, the paid ad ones, I'm not going to go into crazy detail with that, but I will share a great resource for you for that. So we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about best practices, and then I'm going to share a resource. We'll spend more time on the top 2. The paid ads is actually going to be tomorrow night because that will be more of the latter part of tomorrow night. All right, so I want to open this up. I know in the very beginning we kind of kicked it off with what are some wins, what are some successes, but now I want to kick it off with just what are some challenges? You've been going through these different sessions. I'd love to hear from somebody. What's a challenge you're experiencing?
Content.
Content. Tell me more about that.
Figuring out what content is gonna attract, what content is going to get you likes, what content is gonna get you leads. it's complicated. It's not just post, post, post. You have to have some kind of content that's going to be attractive, kind of thing.
I love that. Thank you. Is that Erwin?
Yep, that's me, Erwin.
Awesome. Thank you, Erwin. Content. Guess what? We are going to go through content. You're actually going to get, and I forget if it's in the slides for tonight or tomorrow, but you will get it between tonight and tomorrow. There is literally a outline that gives you the easy button. So we don't even have to think about it. It's just, here's what I'm going to do Monday. Here's Tuesday. So you're going to get that. Love that. I see in the chat box, doing more videos, getting in front of the camera. Yes, we will talk about doing more videos because people do business with those that they relate to, with those they like and trust. There was an agent I worked with in 2018, brand new. It was her second month in real estate. So I started working with her right away. It was her second month in real estate, and she ended up landing her first listing. It was a for sale by owner, about 650,000. And then the month later, so third month in real estate, her second listing, 1.2 million for sale by owner. Both of those sellers were interviewing other agents, and she got the listing. No real estate experience, never owned a house herself, was a renter for years. Okay. Literally brand new, like brand spanking new. All right. And was just knocking on some doors. She wasn't making calls, TCPA compliant. She wasn't making calls. She was knocking on some doors. And the reason they chose her, she actually asked them after she got signed and after she actually got the listing. She said, I have to ask you, why did you choose me over the other agents? And they simply said, I connected with you better. I just liked you more. Okay, so for anyone on air who is newer, who has that mindset or fear of, oh, I'm newer, get that out of your head right now. Okay, doesn't exist. It's in our mind, it's not in theirs. So, video, pulling this into social media, how this ties in, social media, especially videos or at least pictures, like, okay. So, videos help people get to know us. Videos help people get to, would it be really weird? Hold on, ready? We're gonna try something really quick. How awkward would it be if I was literally sitting here teaching like this? Okay, nobody's looking at the screen. I have turned my camera off. Right? There's no connection to me. You hear some random voice out there in the distance. Hey, 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 right? That, how can you relate to me? How can you trust me? Right? Or if you turn it on, now you see me. Hey, what's going on? Yeah. And I will share a story about videos as we get through the slides a little bit. Not having much of a network in my area. We're going to talk about that. You're going to say you're definitely going to get some best practice on that. Do I open a business Facebook page and how do I post in compliance? All right, compliance, I'm going to say this, check with your broker. The reason I say that is every state is different. So I can share what's compliant from Maryland, DC, and Virginia, but we have New Jersey on here and um, Dallas and North Carolina, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't want to give you wrong information and get you in trouble. So I will have to say for the compliance part, just go ask your broker. Um,
Ileana, is it okay if we speak?
You mean come off of mute?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love voices.
Love it. There's just one quick thing I learned today about myself. I've been in real estate for I'll just say a long time, and these types of actions, the social media, the DT D2, all of these things, I get held back, and meaning that I don't do them. I say I'm going to do them, and I don't do them. And the only reason I'm coming out here on this is it's the same thing with social media. And I learned today I don't do that because of fear. I don't get the immediate satisfaction of a lead or the immediate gratification of, look at this, I'm doing something. And now, oh, look, it worked.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's the same reason I don't open my mail, because there's nothing but bad news in the mail. Right? Nothing of that makes me feel good. So if we can change the way that we think about getting good feelings about posting on social media by saying, I know that when I do this, the formula works and it's going to work. Then, for those of you out there that may be a little bit like me, I have a feeling that's going to help. And I hope that's helpful. And I hope I didn't take too much time away from you on this. But I just feel like so many realtors that happens with.
Gary, first of all, thank you so much. Yeah, I love the claps. Thank you so much for sharing that because number one, you're not alone at all, right? Number two is I feel like you saw the slides and knew what was coming and, just kicked us off. So thank you. Talking about fears. So I'm going to share this. All right. So I wasn't going to share this till later, but now that you brought it up, I'm totally sharing it. All right. I am a storyteller, by the way, so you will get stories from me throughout the night. They're all going to be personal about me usually. And I'm going to stop this I'm going to stop that because I also have ADHD. So if there's words on the screen, I'm going to look at the words and not talk. So here's the thing. I share those fears. Okay. Um, I didn't use social media for the longest time. My daughter had to force me. I have a daughter. She's 28. She lives in Japan. And before she moved to Japan, she was actually working part-time in one of the offices I was in. And she took my phone one day and put me on Instagram. She forced me to do a post. It wasn't a picture of me, it wasn't a video. It literally was just a, I don't know, a GIF or a picture of something. I don't even remember it was a picture of something that I posted with some words, right? And then she would take my phone and post pictures of my cats, right? Or food, or I go to wineries, so wineries. And it was the same type of fear, right? It's the same fears that we all have. And by the way, all, okay? Pointing to myself right now. All of us have this at some point, and we all have them in different ways. Okay. So it was the fear of, I don't like how I look. I don't like how I sound. I'm not going on video, right? The fear of your, this, it takes too long to work. I'm not seeing the results right away. So why even do it? Right? Because it does take time to build, like anything. And we as human beings love instant gratification. That's why our favorite thing is Amazon, right? Because we just want to push button and it arrives that same night. Okay. Unfortunately, real estate and everything we do in real estate is the complete opposite of instant gratification. So I was even terrified my first year to call my sphere of influence. So I didn't. It stopped me. I totally didn't do it. What ended up happening was in my first year in real estate, and I see some names on here, so sorry you get to hear these stories again because you coach with me, but I tell the same stories at work. What ended up happening was three of my very close friends bought and sold with other agents within 3 month time span. By the way, all of them over $400,000 homes. Okay, so it was about six sales in 4 months, in 3 months, six sales with other agents.
Right.
I was too afraid to reach out and remind them I was in real estate, so they forgot I was in real estate. Because if you don't remind them, they won't know. I don't care who they are. My brother doesn't remember. My dad barely remembers. Doesn't matter who the person is, they don't remember us. Well, they remember us, not that we're in real estate. But I was too afraid, right? Afraid that I would come across salesy or afraid that, I would be pushed. Whatever the fears were, right? Those are real things. They're real things that live in our head. They're not real things, but they are real to us. So I say all that to say, number one, pick one. I want you all to think about right now a fear that you have, whether it is social media related or something completely different. And I want you to write down. Now, if you want to share it in the chat box, you totally can, but you don't have to. It's personal. But write it down. And whatever one fear you wrote down is the one fear that you have to get uncomfortable with in the next 9 days. It means you have to take a step because the only way to get out of fear is to get into action. That's the only way. And it's to, I'll share the video one. For years, I didn't do videos, didn't do them at all. I was a national trainer, I coached, I spoke, would not do a video on social media at all. I do not like my voice. I barely hate recording it. True story, I edit all these recordings and I don't listen. I put on the captions because I don't listen to them when I teach. Because if I listen to it, I won't post it. If I hear my voice, I will not post it. Okay. So that still to this day, right? So I had to go to a friend, and to Gary's point, my fear was so strong. My fear was so strong that I had to actually go to a friend of mine and say, I need you to get me out of my comfort zone. I don't care if I, start yelling at you, like, don't take offense to it. I don't like, just ignore all the things that I'm going to push back on and get me out of my comfort zone. So as my good friend Lauren, we were in the office one day and she goes, all right, we're doing a video. Of course, I was like, no, not today. My hair, my shirt, it's not ready. And she goes, we're doing a video. And she took my phone. She's like, we're going right now. And now 22 takes later, like literally 22 takes later, we had a video, but then I had to post it. So instead of listening to it, she literally took my phone and said, okay, and this is embarrassing. All right. You're all getting an embarrassing story about me right now. She physically took my hand, moved my hand on my Facebook group and said, boop, post. Like that is truly a true story. I'm not exaggerating in any way. Okay. And then the next week, it was 1 week. The next week, she did the same thing, although we only had to do 10 takes. And then the week after, she did the same thing. Okay, so every week she did this for me for literally 90 days until I started doing my own videos. I still don't listen to my voice. I still don't listen to it back. I read captions so I can edit, right? Because I know if I listen, I won't post. And I actually put a timer on my phone and say, I have to post this within 15 minutes. So when that beeps, I don't care what it looks like. I don't care what happened. I have to post it, right? I use that example to say, whatever the fear is, if you personally can't get your mindset out of that, who can help you with that? By the way, I attempted to ask my husband that, but he wouldn't push me. He's like, yeah, okay, we'll do it tomorrow. You need to find someone who's going to be like, no, let's go. Come on. Okay. So as I was talking, did everybody write something down? I see head nods. I see people still writing. I see head nods in that room. Hey, room, was it was where? I don't know where you guys are located. Okay, I love that everybody's in a classroom. All right, let me share the screen again. Oh, thank you for the look at that reactions. So again, I share that story because I used to not share those stories. I was also too embarrassed to share those stories. And I shared that once with a person a while back, and she goes, "Oh my God, I've been so fearful of posting even my picture." And that story helped her post a picture of her on social. So even if you're not ready for videos, just a simple snapshot of your face with a house or a face with a kitchen or a face with whatever it is, a face with my cat, right? Um, starts getting you past that. I'd love to now hear from a person on one of your fears. I'd love for somebody to share. Gary shared. Let's hear one more. Gary, thank you so much for sharing that.
My pleasure.
Oh, David, thank you for sharing this, right? You're in the same boat as me, right? You get something prepared, but then you get yourself all worked up, and at the end, you just don't post it. You have to find little tricks. This is the thing with fears. You have to find a trick to get you past it. What we can't do with fears is we can't say, I'm no longer afraid. Yes, we are. All right. Yes, we are. So instead, we have to say, okay, if my fear is heights, thank you, Michelle. If my fear is heights, okay, what height can I climb this week? What's the next height I can go? What's the next height I can go? I'm not going to the Empire State Building just yet and going to the glass and doing this. Or like the where was I recently? The summit in New York, where like they have this huge glass window, you can literally stand over it, right? So I was really like in your face there, sorry. So, but can you go to the first floor or the second floor? Like it's the tiny itty bitty steps over time to build up to it. And again, finding a person to kind of be there to hold you and wrap their arms around you and be like, let's go. Right.
We may not even be aware of the fear, right? It's just something that,
Your mind
at
blow
some
reaction.
point when we were super young, we, we'll just say it's to no fault of our parents or to no fault of anything, but at some point we didn't get some type of positive feedback that we needed
Mhm.
as a child. And then because we didn't get the reward, now for some crazy reason, we have a fear of it because we've learned that that's what that is. We overcome things, but it's still in a basic innate fear of or not getting the satisfaction. Well, I did this. I made a sandwich. Well, now I can eat it. Right.
You literally are spot on with that. Everything we do or don't do comes from something, right? If we are, it, anyways, literally everything. We were programmed, right? For so many things growing up. We were programmed to not learn how to make decisions because we followed a bell throughout all of high school. And then through, elementary school, middle school, high school, there was a bell that told us what to do and when to do it and when to take a nap and when to eat and yada yada. And if you went to college, when to go to classes, when to do this. And then you have a job and you have a boss, and the boss is saying you have to be in this time, right? So because of that, sorry, now you're bringing up my psychology. That's my background, by the way. So we were programmed with all those things, right? We're programmed with different fears. We're programmed. And again, we don't, to Gary's point, we don't even know sometimes where they come from. That's a whole nother class and a whole nother time frame. That's not tonight. That's like, let's lay on the couch type of class, right? Let's dig deep. But instead, it's okay. If we at least know to recognize it, that's the start of it. Are we recognizing it's a fear? And can we recognize it's in our head? So, for example, as a new agent, you might, oh, so Jennifer, thank you. That's actually the example I was going to give. I don't want to look incompetent or sound dumb. That's a very real fear, very real, right? So, and here's the truth about that fear. It's real to us, it's in our head, but it's actually not real. Because nobody out there who's not the people out in the world who are not in real estate, they know nothing about anything we do. We can literally post a video or a picture of us. We can walk outside right now, take a picture of our house. Well, not our house because we don't want to know where we live, but a house, right? We can say, we don't even have to use our voice. We can literally just type words and say, beautiful day in the neighborhood. Hashtag Mr. Rogers, right? That's a post you could do, right? Selling real estate, something like that. So a lot of time, not a lot of times, all the time, the things that we are thinking and feeling, we have to now sit and think and feel, or sit and think, how can I get past that? What is an action, right? So some of the things we're going to go through between tonight and tomorrow night are a lot of the things is how do we engage? How do we post? What should we post and how often? Right. So hopefully that will help you, number one, get past the fear. Okay. You're still going to have the fear of posting, but at least it will give you something to post. Okay. But hopefully it'll get you past some of those fears of what to post, what do I look like, what do I sound like, how am I coming across, to just do it. That's the thing. Just get into action. And then just focus on what you can control. And that's the only thing we can control is our actions. We can't control how many likes we get. We can't control if we post something and people don't engage. We can't control what people comment. I have definitely had my fair share of comments, which sometimes I don't even read. Um, we can't control that. We can't control how many people answer the phone if we're making TCPA compliant calls, but we can control how many calls we're making. We can control, again, our actions of what we're doing. Now, this actually, this graph was created, but full disclosure, it was created over a year ago. So the numbers have shifted a bit, where Instagram is way closer to creeping past Facebook. YouTube is still number one because it's worldwide. Okay. YouTube Reels, YouTube videos, that is worldwide. If anybody does videos or gets into videos, YouTube, Reels on Instagram, Stories on Instagram, and then obviously Instagram automatically shares to Facebook. So we'll just do it there for you. Okay. So the same video, just repeating and posting at all those places because that's how you capture an audience is hitting all those different avenues where all the audiences live, right? So here's the thing. This is why we're using it. 64.7%, yes, I'm reading notes right now. 64.7% of the total world population uses social media. Okay, so the world, 64.7%. 82% of the US population is using social media. That is 82% of the buyers and sellers in the US population. Okay, so all of you, and I saw some people in Dallas, 82% of all the people in Dallas are on social media. 82% of all the people in New Jersey are on social media. So if we are not embracing this and even just in a little bit, we are missing the mark big time. And again, that's coming from somebody who does not like social media. Okay. Although I do enjoy it when I watch cat videos, not gonna lie. I do enjoy a good TikTok late at night with some comedy and cat videos, or I'll say animal videos. The four ways to leverage your social media. Number one, post it. Okay, so four ways to leverage social media is we can post to social media, whatever platform you're using, by the way. This could be Instagram, Facebook, Instagram and Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, whatever you're using. Okay, LinkedIn. So posting. The second is running paid social ads. Again, we're going to get more into that tomorrow night. The third is interacting. We're going to really dive into interacting tonight in just a few slides. And then the fourth is adding new friends. Who on here has added a new friend to any of their social media platforms recently?
Me.
Awesome. Where'd they come from? How'd you add them?
Uh, they were recommended from someone else that I had that I was already a Facebook friend with. So I just, made the request and they said, yep, yep.
Nice. I
Pretty,
want to see some more
pretty
people in the chat.
organic, pretty basic.
Right. So that's it. Pretty basic, pretty organic. That's how it should be. Real estate should be organic relationship, right? It shouldn't be transactional or feel transactional. I was at a ladies' game night recently that a friend of a friend invited me to, and I only knew one person there, and there was a table of eight other people. And believe it or not, I know I'm sitting here training all of you on here. I get really awkward in situations where I don't know people. Right. So I have my one friend there, but I'm at a table with eight other ladies, and I get very quiet, I get very shy and very awkward. So to put myself out there, ask for numbers or social media or any of those connections does not come natural at all. And anytime you get into a situation like that, you want to go in with a goal. In real estate, you want to go into every situation with a goal. There's an agent in Georgia who plays pickleball 3 times a week with new people. He's one of the top agents and he built his business on playing pickleball. Again, with new people every time. And his goal is every time he plays, he connects with one new person. Okay. So my goal is anytime I go to these game nights or situations where I don't know anyone, it's can you connect with one person, get their information, and connect with them on social media? Right. So it's those little tiny goals to say, how can I connect with new people? The other fun part of connecting is if you're on Instagram or Facebook, it actually gives you suggestions, right? So one way to add new friends is take 3 minutes in your day while your water is boiling for your pasta and open up your social media and open up your Instagram and see who is it suggesting. And now be careful, there's a lot of spam. Okay, there's a lot of scammers out there. So I don't just connect with everybody. I'll look to see who am I connected with to make sure it's a real person and not a scammer. So definitely be careful of the scammers out there. But then it's okay, let me connect with 5 people a night. So I go in with a purpose, adding 5 new people every single night. And it's always while I'm cooking dinner, by the way, because I have to wait. So why not? Right. So if you're like, I don't really have the time, it takes 5 minutes. That activity takes 5 minutes. Right.
I really like that better than what I do. I like to go golfing, and so I will golf with people, we'll connect, and then I will ask, hey, what, I'll offer something of value, whether it's, oh yeah, I know this good coffee shop, or you know someone knows, oh, you're a realtor, the first question, oh, is how's the market? Oh, you know what, blah blah blah, and then say, hey, you know what, I tell you what, I've got things on my Facebook I can send to you. What's your Facebook? Right? Because I've offered them something of value, they're okay giving it to me.
So I actually love that. That's fantastic. Right? Because you're coming from a place of value. And that's what we should be doing. And everything we do in real estate is always coming from a place of value. How can we educate? How can we help? How can we give back? How can we, again, come from value? How can we just be a resource? Right? And then here's the thing, people love connecting with people. I have never once, knock on granite, I have never once had someone say, oh, no, you can't follow me. Nope, I don't want to connect on social. Right? What's really fun about social media is it is so natural to people now. It is so just ingrained. It literally lives in our hands all day, right? That if I was sitting here in person with all of you, well, actually, I am sitting here in person with all of you, just virtually. So I could simply say, hey, let's connect on Instagram. Here's my handle, right? And then I can literally go and put my handle right here in the chat box, which I am doing, by the way. Bam. Oh, I went to click share and it didn't share. Let's try that again. I don't know if that actually worked. Let's try that again. No, I don't want to share that. It keeps wanting to do a link. There we go. Right. So there you go. There's my handle. Hey, now what is fun is actually just handing people your phone and be like, here, find me. Or here, find yourself. Right. You just pass around your phone. If I'm with people in person, it is way easier for me to be like, hey, you know what? Let's stay in touch. Um, Are you on Instagram? They'll say yes. Cool. Here you go. Find yourself. As opposed to, how do you spell your first name? What's your last name? I just give them my phone. So what we're going to do right now is we're actually going to do an activity and we're going to create a post. Okay. Before we do it, let me check here. Oh, I love that. People sharing the Insta. Yeah. We have, how many people do we have on tonight? We have 44 people on here. That's 44 different Instagrams if everybody's on Instagram. So use the chat box, share your Instagram. Let's connect with each other. So we're going to do a post. We're going to create one where you're going to pick a topic. Okay, so for example, I'm going to say, I'm going to go to AI in just a second. I'm going to demonstrate this. So I'm going to go to AI in just a minute. I'm literally going to type in, you are a social media copywriter for a real estate agent. Create 3 scroll stopping posts for, now name your target audience, right? So I might say for homeowners and potential sellers in Maryland. Keep the sentences to under 20 words, use active, I change the word to use, I say use my tone, but instead of active voice. And the only reason I do that is I use ChatGPT a lot, so it knows my tone now. Avoid hashtag, avoid emojis, right? And then I'll pick one of these, right? So I'm going to demonstrate this as I talk about it. So let me just stop my screen. Oops, that's not what I want to do. All right. So let me go to chat. Let me open a new one. Can everybody see my screen? Yep. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to literally I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it into here. I'm going to change my target audience to say homeowners, potential sellers in Maryland. I'm then going to pick like myth busting ideas. So I'm going to pick that one. And I'm going to pick one more. I'm going to pick, oops. Oh, wow. Hold on. Actually, I'm just gonna start with that. Okay. So now, see what happens. We're doing this live. You never know what happens. All right, so here we have most Maryland homeowners still believe spring is the best time to sell. So this gives me some verbiage, right? Now, I can use this a few different ways. Either one, I can turn this into a script and literally do a video, right? And maybe it's beautiful out right now. The sun is shining. Maybe I'm standing outside with a tree or something, and I'm like standing, in a neighborhood I like and just saying, hey, Maryland homeowners, um, hey, everybody, Maryland homeowners still believe spring is the best time to sell. That advice is costing sellers more money right now, yada, yada. I'm not going to read it all to you. You can read the screen. So I'm going to I'm just going to, by the way, any perfectionists on here, people stop scrolling on social media when it's not perfect. If you sit there and you have, okay, I need to set up my lighting and I need to do this, I need to do this, I need to do this. I have to have like the right equipment. I have to edit it perfectly. You're actually going to get less views, less followers, less likes. When something is imperfect, now we become human. Now people relate to us. Now people go, ooh, that's interesting, right? Think about it. If you've ever watched a reel or a YouTube video or TikTok, pay attention to what you stop scrolling on. It's usually the ones that are not perfect and they're just fun and entertaining, right? And just real and raw. I did a video when I was teaching a class recently and I was sitting outside and I literally had my phone just like this. Okay. And I asked Chat GPT to make a little mini script for me. I said, make a little mini script that's less than 30 seconds. Here's the topic. Okay. I use an app called Big View as my teleprompter. I'll put the name in the chat. I use the free version of that for my teleprompter. Okay. And the script is rolling. I'm talking. I'm just, again, don't overthink it. All of a sudden, this immense, huge gust of wind came by and blew me over to the side, and my hair physically went like just crazy. Like it was insane. Like things just my food started blowing away. I had food with me. And instead of stopping it and doing it over, I fed it right in the video. Wow, it's windy outside. All right. And I just kept going. I got more views on that video, more likes, more engagement because again, it was real and raw. Now, for those perfectionists, did I sit there and want to do it over? Yes. I had to fight myself like crazy. Like it was self-talk, right? So I finished the video. I want to do a new one. I said, no, 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 no. Just post it. Just post it. Just post it. And I physically said that out loud until I did that, right? So sometimes we have to kind of talk ourselves through that next step. Okay? Now, if you don't want to do a video, here's what you can do. You can take one of these. Um, let's see, I like a mistake one. That's always fun. So I'm going to take this one, I'm going to highlight it, and I'm going to say, turn this into a, whoops, an image to post on Instagram. And let's see what happens. Again, we're doing this live, so I have no idea. By the way, if anybody on here, I know you're on Zoom, you're with me, but if you are a double screener and you want to do this as I'm doing it, go right ahead. While this is coming up, what questions are coming to your mind or what concerns? What are you thinking as we're talking through this?
I like just joined, but like
Oops.
I'm watching, I'm kind of catching on what you're doing. You're making a post with AI. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah, I just did that the other day because I was converting I was kind of merging my personal page and my business page together just 'cause it's a little easier for me to navigate. And so and it's insane how polished everything looks. I just did that the other day for like a meet your agent post, and like it took the Nashville skyline, put it in the background, did all this stuff. I was like, yeah, I could not do that in a lifetime's worth of trying to practice at all. So like having ChatGPT and things like that definitely like cuts down the workload on your back with that. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to sit there in Canva and make this, look at that. Now, I do use Canva AI as well to make things, so I kind of flip between a whole bunch of AIs, but I find chat's the easiest when I'm on Zoom. Um, but here you go. Look, ramp, here's a post. Now, here's the thing. If you don't like something from this, you can tell it, all right, keep everything minus this, edit this one thing, and it will recreate the entire image, making a little edit, right? So now you can literally just download this, and here's your post, right? Here's your post that you can do. Questions do people have on this?
How many
Yep.
business posts do you post compared to like personal, or do you do a business post every day?
Fantastic question. Here's the rule of thumb. Ready for it? 80-20 principle. 80% of what you post should not be real estate related. Now, you can hashtag things. Obviously, your bio says something about real estate, which by the way, spot check all of your social medias. This should absolutely be within the next 24 hours, your activity. Spot check all of your social medias, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, any that you use, and make sure your bio shows that you're in real estate. Now, you also have to say your brokerage. Now, that I do know is compliant everywhere. Okay, so like if you go to mine, it will show that I am a real estate agent, a trainer, a coach. I'm with Keller Williams Legacy. Um, I don't know what else it shows, but probably other things, right? So you want your bios to speak for you. But Jennifer, to your question, 80% should be personal. Keep it neutral, keep it natural, keep it um what's it called? Neutral and what's the word I'm looking for?
Business professional.
I mean, yes and no. I do some fun posts, like I do some random stuff. I mean, professional, I mean, don't get crazy, right? Like, but you want to, yes, light. Thank you. That's a great word, light. What I mean by that is no politics, no religion, no,
Controversy.
negative, bad comments about stuff, right? Now, here's the thing. This is your world. This is your business. You can do whatever you want. I always like to say that though. I coached an agent back in 2019, no, 2018. And whenever I first work with an agent, I always spot check their social media. And his was very entertaining. I'm just going to use those words because we're recording. And he was very opinionated about everything. And it was his opinions. There was nothing wrong with that. Everybody has them. Cool. However, it was very in the world. So he started working with buyers. Oh, what's up, Matt? He started working with buyers, and what ended up happening was he was working with buyers, taking them to see the houses. Houses were about 850,000. All of a sudden, he got an email. They fired him. He calls them up and said, "Hey, like we're working together. I thought everything was great. We're looking at houses. Like, what I do wrong? Like, can I gain your business back?" And he said, "I saw you on Facebook. I don't like what you're posting." That's a real thing. That is a real thing, right? Um, and then to Jennifer, to your question, the other 20% of your time is business, right? So if you think about 5 posts, so if you do 5 posts in a week, one is business. Now, personal and business page. I'm going to give you my personal opinion, but this isn't coming from me. This is coming from sitting in many, many trainings. And it's also coming from me. In 2026, the day and age we are in, unless you're running ads. So if you're running ads, you need a business page. If you have a team or you're on a team, there's probably a business page. But if you are you building your brand, building your name, your individual agent, you don't need a business page at all. It actually becomes more noise because, again, people relate and do business with those they connect with. So they connect with you from your personal page, right? They're going to connect with you because you posted a picture of your dog laying on your back deck with a glass of bourbon. I'm saying that because Matt just posted that picture, and that's why I said that.
I feel attacked. Accurately, but attacked.
But attack, yeah. Yeah. Now, Jennifer, does that help? Okay, awesome. Awesome. So let's dive into the actual like model, right? I know a few of the questions in the very beginning of the night were all about what do I post? How do I do this? How do I engage? Right? So there is literally a model to walk you through this. And it is the way it breaks down. Feel free to take a picture. Now, what I recommend doing, I've got to give credit where credit's due. There was an agent that did this one day, and I thought it was brilliant. They took this out of the student guide. So in your packet that you get in your material, this is in there. They printed it out in a big paper in color, and where they do their real estate business, they have it posted up. So every day they have this in their face so they can look at it and say, did I do my 10 reactions? Did I do my 5 directs? Okay, because then if it's not in our calendar, if it's not in our face, if we're not seeing it, we're not going to do it. So the way this breaks down is daily. So on a daily basis, we go in and we react to 10 things. Now, that's easy. You probably reacted to 20. Oh, I like that. I heard that. Haha, you're getting a laughy face, right? You comment on 10. Has anybody gone to Facebook this week and commented on a happy birthday for anybody? Matt has not because he's in Facebook jail. Literally, he has no Facebook anymore. Sorry, Matt. But commenting doesn't mean that you're, finding something very related to real estate. Maybe you see someone who did a post about their kids' little league and you comment, "Oh my God, congratulations on your kid's home run." Right? So just commenting. 5 direct messages, that's per day. So instead of just commenting happy birthday, direct message them. Right? So there was an agent actually right before I got in the training. I went and did my direct messages for the day. And so I always go to my birthdays first. And there was 2 people I wanted to direct message. So I commented and direct message. "Oh my God, hope you have an amazing day. Happy birthday, blah, blah." Right? And then who else can you, maybe based on the comments, you find who else can you direct message, right? Sharing posts. This is just you sharing, right? So my friend did a post today. I reshared it, right? I did a post recently. Matt reshared it. What that does is number one, by reacting, commenting, and your direct messages, that changes your algorithms around. So now the people that you're commenting and messaging, now they're seeing you more in their feed. So as you're posting your real estate things, now they're going to see you more. So if you're wondering how do people see you, that's how they see you. By commenting, reacting, and directing or direct messaging. And then by sharing posts, now you're connecting with other people. 5 ads, we talked about that, right? Who are you going to add every day, right? I mentioned while you're making dinner, pull up one of your social accounts. Who am I adding, right? If you're in an event, Gary gave that great example. When you're in an event, he was golfing and he shared how he added someone to golfing, right? And then, of course, one post. Now, again, if you're not doing a post every day yet, or you're not even doing one a week, start with one a week. Can you do for the next 30 days, one every week? Okay, that's 4 posts in the next 30 days. And then after that, can you do 2 a week? And then can you add to 3 a week? Again, we're not looking for perfection. We're just looking for consistency and building the habit around it. Oh, David, good question. How do we keep our content from getting buried if we are posting once and sharing 5? So, good question. Depending on the time of day, right? Now, when I do shares, I do Instagram story shares. That's how I do my shares. I mean, yes, it does go in my feed as well. And then after I do the shares, then I do my post. That's how I personally do it. I don't know if Matt does something different or anybody else on here does something different, but I usually share what I want to post after I do all the shares. All right. These are great questions. Hold on, I'm just checking the chat for more questions before we move on to the like model. Adding to your followers or new people to your follow count that have already spoken and engaged with. Sean, I'm not sure I understand the question, so come off mute or give me a little more detail on that because I definitely want to help answer that.
Sorry, I had a question there. I was trying to say, the 5 ads, are we adding unknown people to our follow account that we see within our social media, or are these people that we've talked to personally one-on-one before adding?
Yeah, great question. So yes, yes to both. Anybody you could, by the way, any clients, any potential clients, any future clients, you should definitely be adding them. People you meet at different events, adding them, right? Because we've met them, we're now connecting. So let's build that relationship stronger. And social media helps us do that for free. And social media also gives us suggestions on who to add. So every night I usually go in and just add whoever I add per the day and 5 more from the suggestions. The only thing I'm going to say disclaimer wise, I said it before, I want to say it again because it's very, very important, is just be very careful, especially on Instagram, who you're at. Like, when they give suggestions, don't just go, yep, 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 and click the next 5. Look to see how you're connected because there are a lot of scammers out there. So make sure there is some sort of connection out there before you, no, that's not a hit on you, Matt, before you connect with them.
Can I
So I
add?
say, how do I know this person? Who am I connected with?
Can I add?
Yeah, of course.
I just dropped in to bother Alana. Just my presence just does things to her. And to me, the 5 ad is going to be adding 5 friends to Facebook. We don't have control over who follows us because there is a difference between followers and friends. So you can have followers who aren't your friends on Facebook and on Instagram. So the 5 ads to me are really Facebook versus Instagram, is that because you're on Instagram, we're not really friends. You're just following each other back. Choose your platform though. Honestly, you want Facebook and Instagram and Threads, because you can post on Facebook and it goes to the other two automatically. So make sure your accounts are connected through. So when it comes to your ads, Sean, you're not really controlling who follows you, and following them isn't always the best way to go. There is a formula, and I actually just saw this, and I don't remember it off the top of my head, and I got to do the research on it. I would encourage you to do the research. Posts get seen by like posts get seen by your followers first. Reels get seen like by non-followers first, and then stories get seen like by both or something like that. So I literally just saw something on that today, and I got to go back and research it. So know how the follows work to get the best out of it is what I would tell you to do. Does that help?
I'm going to add
Definitely.
one,
Thank you.
Matt, that was good. I'm going to add one thing to that is if you are looking to build up your followers, Reels on Instagram is what finds other people that you're not friends with. Stories just connects with friends. So even if you have pictures, you can put them in Reels and put music behind it and make it fun, right? So the Reels is what's going to get you other people who are attracted to what you're posting. So if I post a reel about wineries in Virginia, right? If I post a story, my friends will see it. If I post a reel about wineries in Virginia, people who are on looking up, anything about wineries or Virginia or whatever, they might see my reel. So then all of a sudden now they're like, "Ooh, I'm going to follow her. Like I'm going to, connect with her." So all these little tiny things. Okay. So let's dive into the like model. Okay, we're going to go into because again, this goes into um, what we actually post, right? That's the big question. What am I even posting? Right now, your 80% is just you, right? Do you have pets? Do you have, what do you like to do? Do you like food pictures? You're a restaurant person? Are you a foodie? Do you like to cook? Take pictures of that. Just whatever personally you want to post, right? That's up to you. The 20%, which is that 1 out of 5 posts a week, you can follow the like model to help you create what am I posting for that week. Okay. So the very first thing in the like model is the L, local lowdown. So I'm not going to read this to you, you can read it, but I will share one example, and that's upcoming community events. I will tell you when I talk to agents, I talk to top producers, I look at their social feeds. The upcoming community events is probably the one thing that most top producers who use social media are doing every month. Now, again, you might not do that every week because there might not be a community event every week. So you might look at your month and say, all right, this week I'm going to post my local lowdown. It's going to be community events. This week it's going to be maybe something about activities. Maybe this week I'm going to interview a community member, right? Or maybe there's like a local shop that opened up and you do a quick interview with that person. Now you're not the one on video, they are, right? Okay, so anything local. What's really fun with this, you can also go to your favorite AI platform and simply type in act as a real estate agent and social media expert and create local lowdown topics for Instagram posts for the next 30 days. And it will give you, and you can say, make them fun or make them in my tone or make them more professional. You can kind of tell a little more, right? And it will give you a whole slew of ideas. Okay. The I in like is information, right? So this is where you're actually giving information. Now, I know one individual in the chat earlier was talking about, just maybe feeling a little nervous to post because you don't really know what to post or what to say or how to say it, right? So providing information, and again, this is just one post that you can do per month, or you could do per week if you wanted to. But the information, maybe it's a market update. Almost every state has like an MLS service or a National Association of Realtors, or like I'm part of Maryland Association of Realtors. websites that give you market updates that usually have social posts that you can just take from. Oh yes, I use a website called Keeping Current Matters. I don't pay for it. There is a paid version. I don't do it. I just like to pull their free stuff. I'll put it in the chat. Hold on. And the reason why I like it is they have blogs and posts and social posts and it takes the guesswork out of posting. I literally go there, find something I like, and just use it. I typically don't even recreate it. I just use it. Okay. Tips for buying and selling. You again go to AI, ask it, hey, act as a real estate agent and social media expert, and provide me with 3 Instagram posts on tips for buying or selling, tips for buying or tips for selling, or 3 for buying, 3 for selling. So again, this is an example of just market updates you can give for that information, right? What's inventory like, average days on market, really anything about the market. Honestly, you can even walk around a neighborhood and just talk about homes that maybe there was a home that just sold and how long it was on the market for. Right? So the K, know me. This is your personal. This is the connection one. Do not skip this one. This is what ties them to you. This is what attracts them to you, right? So whatever you personally want to post about knowing you, right? Are you into books? Are you into music, travel? Like I'm a huge travel buff. So I will post travel pictures probably every month, right? Um, if anybody on here is 30 days or less in real estate, a great thing, I just got this idea literally, I think last week on TikTok. No, not even last weekend on TikTok. And what it's a real estate agent who just got into real estate and his posts on social media, they're not every day. He's doing it, I think, every third day, as far as what I'm seeing. Sorry, it's the cat battle time I mentioned, so now I have to throw them treats. So give me 1 minute. Okay, there we go. And what he's doing in his post is he's just taking his phone, he's doing a little video, and he's documenting his start into real estate. So he's like, hey guys, I'm 1 week into real estate, right? Let me tell you about my experience going through the classes and the test, right? All right, guys, I'm 2 weeks into real estate now. I'm learning a lot. Wow, this is harder than I thought it would be. Da, da, and here's what I learned today. And it is this short, really short video. And he puts it on, I see it on Instagram, I see it on TikTok. I don't go to YouTube to look at it, but it's probably there too. Um, just documenting his journey, right? And it's fun, right? So again, I can't say this enough. Don't overthink it. And I'm saying that because I'm an overthinker. So if anybody is also an overthinker, I understand. And we can't. When it comes to social media, when it comes to posting, we can't overthink it because we'll never do it. Right. And then finally, the engage in conversation. Okay, so this is the E and the like. You'll find, right, how many people go onto social, whatever platform, I'm just going to say Facebook first, just to say a platform. You go on Facebook, you see a post, you're like, oh, I love that. And you comment, right? Or you post something and then somebody comments, but you never engage back. You don't reply to them, you don't say anything, right? So what happens there is one, it kind of stops the algorithm from working. So now they're kind of you're shrinking down the line of people of them seeing you, but also you're losing a moment where you can actually build a relationship, where you can actually have a little fun and engage with them for free, right? So many people are like, oh, I don't know who to talk to. I don't know what to say. Social media makes it so much easier for us. So some examples of ways to engage people, some really fun ones are right here, right? Guess when this home was built? There's an agent actually in our area in Maryland who does one once a month. She puts a picture on Facebook and she says, guess the home price. Closest winner, closest to the price wins. And obviously, you don't put the address or anything, right? But guess the home price, closest person to the price wins something. Check with your broker, compliant in your state, see what's allowed, not allowed regarding those type of things. Um, but it's so engaging. So now people are guessing the price. She's engaging with them, right? The winner, she goes live on Facebook and announces the winner. So now she's live on Facebook doing it. What questions do you, regarding engagement or just the like model in general? Um, is anybody doing this already? Or at least some, or at least one of these things?
Yes,
Right? No.
I,
Erwin, did you say you were?
yes, I do it, but I don't do it. I don't do it. Well, I used to do it before because that's what I do. I do it for my own page. It does work. It's just you have to be consistent and you have to. It takes a lot of time.
Yes, you're not doing this business page. Again, we're not definitely not business page. You want to do it on your own page. And I'm glad that you said that you have to be consistent and it does take time, right? To Gary's point in the earlier when we were talking about fairs, that's the hardest part to this, right? The consistency of time is the hardest part to any of this. So when we get into this rhythm, right? Now, the fun part is when we fall, it's like going to the gym. When we get into a rhythm, we're going all the time. And then when we go on vacation and come back, we're like, nope, no more gym, right? We fall out of the rhythm. So, same thing with social media. We have to get into the rhythm by starting. And to start, it's putting it on your calendar for the same time each day. So, is it 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Monday? Maybe you have some time. Maybe you do a lunch break on Tuesday. Maybe Wednesday is 2 o'clock. That seems to be a hotter point to post at, right? On Wednesdays. When is it on your calendar each day? And then be specific in your calendar. I know Matt has something to say to this. Be specific in your calendar of what you're actually doing. So Monday could be local lowdown, right? Tuesday is something personal. Maybe it's a know me, right? You don't have to go in order of like. Um, so that way, when you open your calendar, you have a very specific, this is what I'm doing. Here's my time block. It needs to be posted. Matt, did you have something to add? I saw your.
Yeah, I disagree with everything you just said. Sort of. Sort of. Let me
I love
clarify.
it. Let's debate.
Sort of. What should be on your calendar every day is when you're going to make your content versus when you're going to post your content. Yes, if you do the research, there are better times of the day to post than other days to get engagement. I have found that really depends on two things. What you're actually posting. Like if you guys go to my social media, I don't have Facebook right now. Like Alana said, I was hacked and it was disabled. I'm still trying to get it back, but my Instagram's still up. You're going to find 9 out of 10 times it's my dogs. If I didn't have VAs, I wouldn't have half the real estate stuff on there because they're doing that. So it's about your content of what you're putting out there and your followers. You have to meet where your followers are at. So I prefer just randomly doing it when I feel like it. I do get more engagement from time to time, but if anything, your calendar has to have when you're going to make content. Eventually, the content creation is going to become second nature to when you are showing properties or you're going on a listing appointment or you're writing an offer. You're going to just naturally go. Let me put it like this. Okay. I wish there were more faces because I see several that I would like to just like, I can tell by your photos on here, you do this. Where are the ones, ladies? I'm going to say it because they do it more. They do it more. Where are the ladies that actually take pictures of food and post it on Instagram on a regular basis? I know Alana does it, right? Guys, I know some of the guys do it too. All right, guys, where are the guys take pictures of their bourbon and post it on there with a nice little thing, right? That like you're out sitting by the fire and you got a cocktail in your hand. If you're doing that, you're already doing social media. You just have to change some of what you're doing and start putting some real estate into it. Does that help it make sense more? Whenever you have the opportunity, just post. You cannot, well, I think you can overpost. You almost can't, because none of us are going to do it that much unless you're becoming a content creator. But even the content creators that are making something, they only put one video out a day. Maybe.
Well, and honestly, the second you post, right? We all our whatever we post, doesn't matter what it is, whatever we post is gone in
24 hours. But if it's a story, right?
Well, if it's a story,
it's
gone if it's a story, it's gone in 24 hours. If it's a post,
but even your post gets
it's
lost
gone in minutes.
24 hours. So
has
you
anybody
have
ever
to
looked
consistently post?
Well, has anybody ever looked at a post and you're like, oh my God, that was so funny. And then you go back literally minutes later to try to find it and show to somebody. And you're like, I literally just had that. Where'd it go? Right?
Julian, I know you take a picture of your food. There you are. I see it. There you go.
Fantastic. Hopefully something good. No, to Matt's point, I actually am not debating you or disagreeing. I completely agree. Yes, we have to have time on our calendar to create. There's a best practice that an agent in our office does, and they have one day a week. They do Fridays. Friday's their creation day, and they literally block their whole day on Friday. And they sit there and just create. Right? So now they have everything created or whatever. However they much got in the beginning they could only do usually 2 weeks. Now they are set in such a rhythm that in that Friday they whip out the entire month. So then that weekend they edit whatever they need to edit, and then they just schedule it all out. Right? So now for those who are like, oh my God, I have to post, I have to think about this. If you have that planned day and then you do it, now the month is scheduled. You don't have to think about it till next month.
What is scary about Facebook is I was in the same place as Matt, completely hacked, gone, never came back. Facebook didn't care if I lost it all. So restarting, I was at a weird time in my life, and I really kind of want to stay hidden. And I had, over 1,000 followers. It never came back. I had to make a new one. Facebook did not care, nor do they have people that look into it. I think you really need to change your security features on that probably every 2 months, because the hacking on that is insanity.
I also
But
have
they
had
did,
something like that happen in the past too. Sorry to interrupt. And I'm in the same stage where I'm trying to rebuild that brand again that it took me a while to build up, and rebuild Instagram and Facebook. And that's kind of a challenge in these past 2 or 3 months as I've been with Keller Williams.
You guys are not making me feel very good and very positive right now. I'm
trying to. Yeah.
well,
I
welcome to
didn't want to say
Facebook.
it.
Thank
They
you
don't
all
I
so
didn't
care.
want to
much.
say it. But
You can send your license to them. You can call them. They don't have a team to repair it. They don't care. So everything that you built as your brand is gone. And that's my problem.
I'm not gonna let. I'm trying not to let it be an excuse. I do hear what you're saying. I understand. I've also tried to. What I've heard from one of my sponsors, YouTube would probably be a great option as well, because people document stuff for 7, 10 plus years on that. That's a bigger challenge for me to get over, though.
That's how they really get to know you. I mean, they really get to know your personality, who you are, your funny things, your not so funny things, and whatever. And that's what makes someone really want to get with you, to be your, to for them to say, hey, and approach you and say, I jive with you. I want you to be my realtor.
Yep.
I do. I like that.
I'm not looking
Thank you.
forward to a rebuild, guys. This is my OG Facebook. However, here's what I want you to take away: the ones that have had this happen and the ones that potentially may have this happen. Cass just asked, "Is there a way to prevent the hacking to happen?" No, there's not. There's really not. The hackers are out there going to do what they can do. Your real only best option that I know of is change your password on a regular basis, and any 2-step authentication you can do. Like if it's gonna, I mean, I've had this. It is literally my OG Facebook. I'm 55 now, and I've had this ever since Facebook came out. And I've never been in any situations. This is my first time ever being hacked. The weird part is my business partner, John, it happened to both of us the same day. His was Saturday at 4:00. Mine was Sunday morning at 2:30 in the morning. We both are dead in the water right now. What I will say about this, though, because I told John this, if we can't get it back, my other challenge is when I tried to create a new account, it went, no, you can't even do that. So I'm still trying to figure that out. What I did take away from it, though, is have you guys ever seen the videos or the memes that said if you could go back in time and talk to your 20-year-old self, what's the one thing you would say? Or if you were reborn or you started life over at 16 with all the knowledge you have now, that's what I'm going to be able to do with Facebook now. If I can't get it back and I have to rebuild it, I know how to do it now and do it right compared to what I had before. And by the way, any of the nonsense that might have been on there years ago that somebody might go find, it's still out in the internet world. Someplace it's just not readily available on my Facebook anymore. So I have
everybody go try to find all the nonsense.
It's hard to recreate the pictures. What stinks about Facebook when it happens is you lose your pictures that maybe you didn't duplicate, right? That you just posted there, and your content and your followers. And you literally are starting because I was locked out for 60 days.
Which means everything you're learning now is even more important. So you guys can rebuild your stuff because you can rebuild it faster now than when you could have before. Just think about it.
It's
again,
remembering for the past 20 years who your friends were.
Those are all excuses. Everything that's coming out of your mouth is factual, but it's all excuses. None of it means anything.
That's the approach I'm
where
taking.
you are today and what you're going to do to move forward.
Right.
Honestly.
And that's
Thank
why
that,
they're in the class now. Just nobody put what the name of your dog is out there, what hospital you were born in. That may be helpful. Just saying, don't put that. Oh, what will I look like when I'm 90? You look like you don't have a Facebook account anymore.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Maybe
I think
save your
all of
photos
us
to a
are
drive.
going to be changing our passwords tonight because of this conversation. I know I am. Let's do an activity. Let's do a social post. So,
As long as it's not Facebook.
I'm going to, by the way, just so all of you know, I'm probably going to hear about this every day on texting or something from Matt for I don't know how long. I'm going to be like, did you rebuild it? So I'm going to hold him to that as well. He needs to rebuild it. Well, when he's actually allowed, because he can't now. Okay. Let's actually create something in whatever your favorite AI platform is. And then post it or prepare it to post for tomorrow. I'll give you that. Because some people I know last time I did this activity, people wanted to do videos, so they wanted to captions it, and we didn't have time for that.
By the way, guys, another food for thought: weather and safety is another thing you can post. Doesn't have to do with real estate. It's just another way for you to be out there. We had a storm come through a while ago that was supposed to bring tornadoes, and we ended up getting 2 over a 2-day period, which is kind of not that common in Maryland. But I had a whole bunch of things lined up for that day that those storms were going to come. So always think about what you can do to just help the community out and make people safe, if you will. So while you're thinking about what you're going to create right now, keep that in mind too.
Yeah, that's a great point, Matt, because somebody just recently posted not about weather, but well, I guess technically about weather. They were talking about the weather here in Maryland, how it's been too cold to be able to do the normal planting that people would do this time of year because everything would freeze over. So somebody just did a post actually it was my broker who just did a post recently about this weekend and it's time to get out, go to the farm, wherever they get their plants from and fun things to plant for the season. So they did talk about weather, but they did it in the essence of planting things. That was kind of fun. All right, so what we're going to do, I'm going to kind of go back to chat here. So we have a few different slides. Actually, I'll go through the slides first, then we'll actually do it together. So you're going to choose whichever one you want. There's the local lowdown, an information one, the know me, or the engage. Okay. And you're going to take the verbiage and put it into, and I'll share the verbiage in chat so you can just copy and paste it if you want. So you're going to share it in your favorite AI. So just pick one of these ideas, okay? Share it with AI, have it create, right? It says 10 things, and you're just going to pick one. Just look at the 10 things and pick the one out of the 10 that your AI creates that stands out to you the most. And then that's your post. Now, I'm going to throw a little caveat to this that's not in the slides, but I like it. And I did it recently, so I'm going to do it again. If you want to do one of these as a video, right? Or even we're in class tonight, so it could even be taking a picture of the screen or you and your computer or you and your water and coffee and computer, right? And doing that, right? Again, that's one of the no me's, right? You just taking a real estate class and posting something about you learning and growing, that's a no me. So pick one of these ideas. Let me actually get off of here so I can copy and paste it. Okay. I'm going to throw these in the chat right now. So there's those two. Let me go to the other ones.
You know, vegan food is so much better with meatballs.
That is a great post right there. That's the post.
You're welcome.
Was that Gary? So I
Yes.
recognize that voice.
Yes, sir.
I'm literally laughing right now.
Where did that come from?
And that was
I'm assuming
hilarious.
you're eating
I'm
something
legit
vegan.
gonna post
You can't
that.
eat vegan food
That
with
was hilarious.
meatballs. No, it's not vegan.
You can have that one.
I would say, Matt, do a post about that, but you can't, huh?
I
All
can
right.
on Instagram.
Well, that's true. That's true. That's true. Okay, so I put all four of these ideas in the chat box, and you don't have to use one of these. You can do your own. But we're gonna take just a few minutes right now. Let's see, give it a few minutes and choose your favorite AI platform. So I'm gonna do this with you. Actually, we'll do informational. I always like to tell my chat who to be. All right. So go ahead into your AI right now, choose one of these, or again, if you have other ideas, put that in there as well, and then have AI create for you 10 different post ideas, right? And then choose one of them. You can even go so far if you're using chat, you can go so far as say, okay, now create an image for it. Matt Chief music to play. Oh, actually, we can't because it won't let us now then upload it. YouTube's new thing.
What was that?
Oh, when you record videos, if you have certain music in the background and you try to post it then on YouTube, YouTube will flag it and not let you
Oh,
use it.
okay. I thought you were talking about AI, not YouTube not letting you use AI.
Oh, no, that you can use.
By the way, someone, so I was on one of these here social media meetings, and there was someone who had, I thought it was fairly brilliant. He got the script of someone else's YouTube post about whatever it is that he liked, copied it, threw it into Chat GPT or whatever to reword it, and then shot it himself. And I thought, golly, there you go. So
Okay.
I mean, that's what we do as realtors anyway, right?
Yeah, so one of my favorite sayings is case, copy and steal everything, right? Because why, I
Deal.
love following agents and different agents on Instagram and TikTok and all of those to see like what's standing out. What do I like? What don't I like? Right? If something stands out and it makes me stop the scroll, I take a second to make a mental note of what just made me stop that scroll, right? So then you can repeat it. Where versus the other way, there's an agent I know who I stopped following because I just couldn't stand their posts, to be honest with you. Very nice person, just couldn't deal with the posts because their posts were so um, long and monotone, kind of boring. So, like their videos were like 4 minutes long. Don't post a video on social media 4 minutes long, right? Unless you're doing a long YouTube training type video, not a short, right? But this it allowed me to learn, okay, don't start my videos that way. Don't do those things, right? So as you're watching other people's videos, take a mental kind of snapshot or note of what do you like? What don't you like? What's standing out? What's not standing out? Who are you following and why? Right? Because then you can literally repeat it. All right. Any questions as you're doing this activity? You can come on off mute.
I wanted to say something real quick.
Sure.
So I don't know how many of you guys use Claude. I just recently upgraded to like the pro version or whatever it is.
Mm.
And as I'm doing this activity, I just had it create me like a full website. And like what it is basically, like I wouldn't have thought about this. What it is, it's like a content generator thing. And so like in my case, like I'm in Nashville, Tennessee. My goal is to work more strictly in like the downtown Nashville area. And so what it does is it takes like what I want, whether it's like a local lockdown, local events, buy or sell tips, whatever. I put, what area specifically I'm working in. I'd say my audience, whether it's like, okay, I'm looking to work with first time home buyers, I'm specializing in apartments or right, whatever it is. And it generates ideas based off of that. So I thought that was pretty neat. I don't know if you guys use Claude. ChatGPT might be able to do the same thing, but I don't know. I'm biased. I use Claude more, so I kind of roll with it a little more.
My
I'm glad you said
understanding
that.
is,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm glad you said that. I've been juggling Claude and Chat over the past few months, but I think I'm starting to lean more to Claude just when I've heard about it. So I appreciate the feedback because I downgraded from Chat GPT Pro just like yesterday, and I was thinking about getting the upgraded version from Claude. So I appreciate that.
I hear that
Yeah,
Claude is
absolutely.
far superior.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yeah,
what I'm
I
hearing too.
just got the paid version of Claude. I've been using Gemini in chat, and I obviously I like both of those. But the paid version of Claude allows, oh my goodness, you can actually, I literally just connected Claude to my Google folders and my Gmail, and it while I'm doing other things, it scrolls through and builds responses for all these emails, and then it can actually create your entire social media plan for you and calendar for you. And yeah, it's
It becomes
scary
like
and also
a
amazing.
yeah, right. I know. I remember we had a class on it the other day, and like he showed us how he quite literally turned Claude into like his assistant. Like it would, like you said, like it would
Mhm.
go through and like automate responses for different platforms. It could clear out his email and everything like that. It would, go in and like code itself and do all these crazy things. It literally created like AI videos of him and then automatic and like somehow I think he got it to like where he like uploads them to social media on his own. So he doesn't even have to do a thing. He just does like the knit and grit of like the work where it's like signing the contracts, all those things. But then like the exposure is done by
Mhm.
AI, and it was the coolest thing ever, and also like you said, terrifying. I would like to have my AI help me out with stuff like that. I don't know if I want it to take full control because I want to, like I'm a little more picky about how certain things are done, so I kind of have to make sure I'm over it to make sure it's getting done the way I want it to get done. But nonetheless, still, I'm like that's a good idea. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, right? As while this week is all about social media, everything we do, we need to figure out in today's world, right? Everything's moving at the speed of light. I mean, it is fast in the speed of light. It's insane how if we were just having this conversation actually in my office with a bunch of agents the other day. We're saying if we're even 1 week behind on playing with this new thing or playing with, doesn't mean that you need to adopt everything, right? A lot of people are trying to, Matt had a great class about that recently where all these people are trying to, oh my God, I just heard about Notebook LM, so I'm going to jump into that. I just heard about Claude, I'm going to jump into that. I just heard about, somebody just posted in chat some totally other system that I've never heard of, right? So like my mind says, "Ooh, I want to check that out." And okay, truth be told, I probably will. And at the same time, we it's okay using a few, but we want to be really careful to be able to use them at the fullest extent because their chat's growing, Claude's growing, Gemini's growing, they're all growing so much, right? How do we dive deeper into it? How do we learn more about it? How do we ask them to teach us? How do we ask our AI to teach us more about what it does, right? To use it at a higher level, to to be our assistant, to take things off a plate, right? Um, and again, social media is a huge thing. If you're stuck on what to say, what to do, what to post, social media. Ooh, did I freeze? Oh my God, I think I froze. Am I good? Can you hear me? Okay, cool. So social media, or sorry, AI can build you an entire social media content calendar, right? I have it do it when a lot of new agents join, sometimes I'll go into chat and walk them through like, okay, go in here, tell them that you're a new real estate agent or a newer real estate agent, and talk a little about who you are in your tone, because you want to teach you your tone, and then say, create me a 30-day 30-day social media content calendar where 80% of what I post is not social media, not truly real estate related, 20% is, right? And then put your personality to it. So for me, I'm going to say keep it fun, keep it light, keep it funny. I like jokes, right? So where somebody else might say keep it, whatever your personality is, right? All right, so I want to show this example, right? So I chose the one give 10 posts about um, how people can relate. So I just want to share this one little example, which by the way, you can do this in every single AI platform there is. I'm just going to talk about this first one, a day in the life of the real estate agent, right? So it tells you, okay, here's your post, right? Here's what you create. So you take a day and say, all right, tomorrow I'm going to do a day in the life of me. And you just simply take some pictures throughout the day, right? Take a picture in the morning you making coffee. Take a picture you sitting down with your computer. If you take a walk or go to the gym first, take a picture of that, right? So just whatever your daily routine is, fitting in real estate in there, right? Something real estate related. Now, not only are you showing your human side, you're relatable, they get to know you a little bit based on your day, but now you have a little piece of real estate kind of slid right in there, right? And then if you're like, well, I need more details. I don't really know how to post this or what to do. You can simply in chat, but you can do this in all the platforms, and you can ask it for more details, right? You can have this break it down and say, give me examples of pictures or tell me what to post or walk me through verbiage. So when I do post it, what do I say? Right. So again, we don't have to always sit here and overthink what should I be posting? What should I be saying? I don't even know what to say. We just have to leverage the systems that are out there for us to use to give us the words and then not
Action
overthink
creates
it, actually do it.
happiness.
Action creates what?
Happiness.
Oh, I love that.
If you feel like, I don't want to get out of bed, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. If you just say, you know what, let me do this for 5 minutes. Pretty soon, funny enough, you start feeling pretty damn good. Action creates happiness.
Action creates happiness. That's a great phrase.
Love that.
By the way, action gets you out of fear. I'm going to throw that one in there too,
Hello.
right? Drop that mic right there. All right. So I said we were going through social ads tomorrow night. I'm going to kind of touch on it a little bit right now, but then I just want to open it up for just a little more dialogue, a little more Q&A and conversation around what we already discussed. And then tomorrow night, we're going to go more into interacting, just again, a little more deep dive into that 80-20 principle. What should we be posting? More about the content. And then tomorrow, I'm going to be sharing with you literally a social media 5-day calendar. So tomorrow, you're going to get a calendar, like an actual calendar to either use or take from or whatever you want to say. Um, so here's the thing. Here's the rule of thumb with running ads. Now, I've been running social media ads, typically on Facebook. I do Instagram. I kind of flow back and forth. I usually do both. Most of the time it's Facebook, because I like to target really sellers and listings. When running social ads, the rule of thumb is if you don't have your system, now I'm with Keller Williams, so I use Command. Many of you are with Keller Williams. I know we have some guests. Welcome. Whatever platform you are using to as your database and putting people in there and remembering to follow up with them. If you don't have that set up yet for follow-up, don't pay money to run ads yet.
Smart plans.
Yeah, thank you very much. Smart plans. By the way, I have a smart plan. Actually, I've been running ads since 2018. I have a smart plan published. If you just look up my name, I have a few of them. So my name's Ilana. I think I'm the only Alana with published smart plans. I only have a few, but one of them is specifically for ads. So you are more than welcome to take it from the library. Just make sure you edit it because it has my name on it. So take it from the library, edit it, and use it. It works. So the reason I say you need to have things set up for follow-up is social media ads are going to, when done right, will give you leads, right? Buyer leads, seller leads, they're going to give you leads. And almost all of those leads are not right today. Almost all of those leads are ready. I have the hiccups. That's really fun. Almost all of those leads are ready within 6 to 16 months. So I've seen agent upon agent pay money for ads, don't have follow-up system in place, and the money just goes down the drain. Okay, so if you don't have the follow-up yet, don't pay for ads yet. Once you get it in place, though, which by the way, doesn't take long, and you can case whatever you want out of smart plans in Command. You can take all my stuff. Once you have it in place, so social media ads are fantastic. That's a great way to pull in potential buyers and sellers to you, right? I ran an ad, your very first ad you run, I do recommend starting small. So like, for example, my first ad I ran, I paid like 25 bucks because you're going to have to work out some kinks and like what's working, what's not working. So don't throw a whole lot of money to it because your first ones, you're going to make mistakes. And 25 bucks is like a whole, carton of eggs now. So you're just, I'd rather make mistakes on that than $500. And then after you start getting some consistency with it, right? So I typically run a new ad about every 14 days or so. I'll run something new, approximately. And when you're running ads, you're able to target people in your database. You can basically the whole way you can target. So, for example, if you have a database where you actually tag people and you're running an ad for an event you're holding for golfing, you can target the people in your database who are tagged golfing, right? You can target audiences. You can target neighborhoods. So if I'm running an ad regarding, I run most of my ads on listings, right? Because I'm attracting both listings and buyers. So I'm running an ad on a listing. I'm going to target a neighborhood, and that's going to attract buyers and sellers. Gary, I saw you come off mute, but
I did, but I'm holding.
oh no, go ahead.
Well, so how many do you know or do you remember how many ads you can run all at once? Isn't it like 135 or something crazy like that?
Um, I actually don't know how many ads you can run at once. I have only run I think two at the same time. And that's simply because I really want to focus on the follow-up. So I need to be like laser focused on what ad, what's coming in, the rate of return, and touching people,
Yeah.
engagement.
And then, so geo-targeting via Facebook. I know as realtors, we have rules that we have to make sure that we are sticking to, adhering to. So if you're a realtor and you're talking real estate, then you have to stay. It's a what your range, I think, in a geo target is 15 miles. I was
Hmm.
wondering if you know if we were running, for example, you mentioned tagged, if we have people that are tagged. So, for example, I may run in a really cool social group, or at least I used to. And if I tag them as that social group and I know that they're all going to be in one space, I was just wondering if I could geotag or geo target just my tagged people. So
If
that's
you're
kind of
running
why I
it through
pulled it back.
command, yes.
After running it through command, oh, do tag.
Yeah, I actually run all my ads now through command because one, it captures everybody directly in command. It automatically puts them on the smart plan. The smart plan, so let's say that let's say James is sitting in New York right now. And I don't know where you're from, James, but let's say he's sitting in New York right now and it's 11 o'clock at night and he's scrolling his socials. Okay. And he is Googling and looking up and AIing, thinking about buying in Maryland.
Okay.
Okay, specifically Howard County, that's where I live. So all of a sudden he's scrolling, right? And he's in my target area. So he comes across my ad, he clicks on it. What ends up happening is it captures the information in my system. Um, it automatically puts him on my smart plan because this I told the system to do this. It automatically sends him a text. Now, the system, I tell it not to text after 8 p.m. because in Maryland we're not allowed unless I'm like really, unless you're like my close friend. Um, so the system texts him first thing in the morning at 8 a.m.
Mhm.
Then it automatically sends him an email that day, and then it sends me a reminder to call him. So I only set up the ad. The system does everything else, and that just reminds me when to call him and what to say.
So your tag is on command, not in Facebook.
Yes.
Okay. And
Well, you set it through command. What's really cool about the command system through and creating an ad is it literally is a checklist. Like for those of you on here, like, oh my God, this sounds complicated. Like that's what I thought too, by the way, because again, social media. So it literally is just a checklist. It says one, what are you targeting? Two, do this. Three, do this. And it just walks you through a checklist of exactly what to do. And then you just set your budget of how much money, you put a credit card, and then you post it. Um,
I was
and then
gonna
it goes
say,
through like
was
a
your
24
budget
hour.
per day, or how much was your ad? Did you do it daily, like a certain amount?
I did it per click. So I usually run 10 to 14 days typically. And then my very first ad, I just did 25 bucks. I got like
right,
6 leads though. I was not complaining with
Perfect.
that.
How do you tie
that's
it to
really
your smart plan? That's another question.
One of the checklist items in the list says, do you want to connect it to a smart
Oh,
plan? And
that's
then I
right.
say yes, and then I just click the smart plan. You just
Okay.
have to make sure the smart plan is set up first before you do
Yeah.
that. Yeah,
it
great
does
question.
that now. It didn't used to do that. That's awesome.
Hmm.
It
And the
didn't
smart
used to be,
plan
yeah.
is in there for Facebook.
Hmm. Yeah, so in command, in campaigns,
Of course, it depends
yeah.
on if you're,
And again, you do have to have a business page to run ads. So that was
yeah.
the only time. So I have a business page. I haven't posted something to my business page and since 2020. Yep, 2020 was my last time I posted to my business page. I don't
Doesn't
use it.
make it.
I don't post to
Yeah.
it. That's fair. Every so often I'll put like a listing there every so often, but that's about it.
Yeah, I used to
Um,
have a lot for my open houses when I put those things or the listing,
mhm.
but all of them proved, I mean, in the end, were not worth people. So I stopped doing it. I mean, I don't know. But of
And again,
course,
here's the thing with the ads, right? The ads are going, when run correctly, you might get one lead, you might get 12. One of them I ran, I got like the 22. I was so excited.
yes,
They work when you follow up
a
long
long
term.
term,
So if
maybe,
you do
yeah,
not want to follow up for literally anywhere from 6 months to 16 months, don't run ads.
yeah. So you
Yep.
should keep it, yeah, a couple of smart plans, maybe calls and other things.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. All right. So Gary, I saw you come off mute.
I did. No, I'm good.
You're good. Okay. So we went through, I'm going to share this real quick. Hold on. So again, tonight we walked through why social media is so important, right? We talked about we for many of us, we have to get out of fear and into action, right? What is that one step you can take regarding social media to move the needle forward, to do something more, right? Is it one more post a week? Is it just starting to post and doing one post this week? Again, maybe it is, again, something about you can even take a picture of this screen right now, literally a picture of the screen right now, and say something about training and learning in real estate, nighttime class, right? Me personally, I go to ChatGPT or Gemini or, whatever AI platform is the most clickable on my screen. They're all like in the line. Um, and just say, hey, I'm doing this post. Here's the picture I'm doing. Give me verbiage, right? Give me words to say. So if you don't know what to say, AI will tell you what to say, right? But again, don't overthink it, right? We went through the like model. Those are different things to post. Local lowdown, information, know you, right? Know me, right? Hobbies, what are you into? Here's my pets, here's my food. Um, I'm right there with you. When you take pictures of food, that is so me. Um, and then engagement. Don't simply comment or post and then ignore. Get in there and actually engage, right? And then finally, just the habit builder, right? This right here is your daily habit builder, right? And it's okay to build up to this. This might not be, it's not like I never went to the gym or I haven't been for 2 years. I'm going to go 5 days a week. I haven't been to the gym, so I'm going to go once this week. And then I'm going to go twice next week. And I'm going to go 2 times again. And I'm going to build up from that, right? Again, this is a journey. The more you do it, the more you stay consistent, the more people will come to you. There's an agent in our area in Maryland who was rookie of the year, sold 36 houses his first year. First year in real estate, 36 homes. 86% of his business came from Instagram. He posts something every day. It's him in his
Maybe he
cars,
has,
it's day in the life of just,
maybe he has a large group that he has always been interacting with. Is that the case? Or is it out of anywhere?
No, actually, he was not on social media much before real estate. He doesn't like social media.
Oh gosh.
Oh no, he will stand up there like me and be like, he's going to be at the party with me, right? When social media officially goes away, if that ever happened, him and I will throw the party together probably. But he knew he needed to be where the people were, so he came out of his comfort zone and said, I'm just going to do something every day on social media. And he built this habit around it. And it wasn't overnight, but he built this habit to where people just start following him and
Yeah, it
commenting and
definitely
DMing.
has branding because I know an agent from our group. She started first with families, then with the kids and everything. And then, of course, she was talented as well. She had a light network, but it helps a lot, definitely. It helps a lot.
It does. It absolutely does, right? All right. So I know it's at the top of the hour, but I do want to open it up. If you do have to jump, great. If not, and you have some questions, I'm going to stay on for another 2, 3 minutes. Just if you have any questions or anything you want to ask or share. Jennifer. I don't know if you were saying bye or you're saying I had a question. I'm not sure which one.
Um, when you said to run the ads, you have to have a